Alright, welcome back everybody. And I don't know if you noticed or not, I really highly doubt anybody's keeping count or anything, but we hit 500 views on my channel altogether, so as a special, I figured I'd do something, well, special for everybody. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm mimicking the Apollo 11 lunar landing in Kerbal Space Program. Um, Other than that, there's not really much to say about it. We have a lander. We're using two rovers because, uh, balancing issues and all that. It's hard to figure out the exact mass of these and put the exact amount on the other side and the exact size and everything. So I just duplicated it for a second rover. Got my lander. We got my leave the Mun. We got the command station that's going to stay up around the orbit around the Mun, and the lifter stage, which this is a much larger lifter stage than you are all probably familiar with, but it's certainly big enough for what we're about to do. So here we go. Now this is just a special video. There's no tutorializing or anything like that. I'm just doing a quick, cool little video on us getting to the Mun Apollo style. It's going to be a little bit different, but essentially it's all the same. My orbital trajectories are probably going to be done differently, all that fun stuff, but whatever, I really don't care. And it looks like they screwed up the thingamajiggy with the pilots and the capsules. Alright, so a little tutorial fact here. If you have two pods, what it likes to do is put pilots in the first pod that you built. For me, it was this upside down lander can. So I want 3 people in here and nobody in there. So you go over here to crew, and I move them down into that one. I need another person. Because in our series here, we've been, well, killing off Kerbals and sending them off to weird places and stuff like that. So there we go. 3 guys in our command capsule, which is exactly what they did on the Apollo mission. So come back over to parts just so it saves the pilots. In the Apollo mission, it was the command section, the lander, and the rover all went to the Mun, or moon, and they transferred 2 out of the 3 astronauts into the lander can. They landed, did the whole rover and flag placing things, and then those 2 went back up and docked with the command thing. Now with this, I don't have RCS, if you've noticed. So instead of docking, I'm just going to get close and use their pack fuel and all that. Just to stir things up a little bit. Make it a little bit more interesting. Now we don't have to go out to the orbital map and align planes and stuff like that and time our approach, because we're just going to the Mun. We're already in the correct parent orbital thing and we're already where we need to be. So nothing crazy. This thing is a little wobbly. I don't really have too much in the realms of SAS or anything like that. But it's a very stable rocket. It looks like it wobbles a lot, but really it's not. It's just that it's really big and it sways. But none of the parts are wobbling around. Everything's quite connected together and everything. And FYI, it is hot as balls in my little computer place here. That's okay. That won't stop me from doing this video. Might stop the computer. He might die. But hopefully he survives this. It's not too much work for him. He's definitely done harder things. It's a tough little computer. I have faith in him. And if you look at my speed, this thing was actually built perfectly to wait to where we will not get to 200 meters a second until about 9,000 meters. It just takes a lot of practice and leveling out fuel and all that kind of stuff to be able to do something like that. And this thing has a whole lot more fuel than normal. If you notice, there's a medium tank there, a medium one there, and orange one's in the center. It is just a massive crap ton of fuel. Which is pretty much what they had for the Saturn rockets. It was, for all intents and purposes, way more rocket than they really needed. And they did that kind of on purpose, but they forgot that the lander and stuff like that had exactly enough for the whole landing and everything. When I mean exactly enough, on the way back to Earth, they literally had zero fuel left. But with me and how I do things, we have more than exactly enough. We have a surplus of fuel, which is what I'm doing here. This is all surplus fuel that we can use. And just for the goodness of my brain, we're going to disable crossfeed there so fuel doesn't go through that docking port. Which, trust me, is a beautiful thing to do. Alright, there goes that. Balance kind of goes wonky there for a second. Come out to orbit map. Pull this thing back out. Technically, I'm up high enough now where I could stop burning altogether. But just because we have all that extra fuel, I'm just going to go ahead and continue on with doing what I'm doing. Now at this point, pretty much the entire United States was watching this launch when it first happened. And it was a spectacular thing. Nobody's ever done something like this in the past. Russia had made attempts, and actually they were going to be the first ones to be on the moon. But they missed their target. They didn't do the math right, didn't pack enough fuel. Something went wrong. I completely forget which. But something went wrong, and they missed their chance to go to the moon. But don't worry, Kerbals are not Russians, and they actually do all their homework. Or at least I tell them to. Whether or not they actually do their homework is up to them. Yes, I give my Kerbals homework. It's generally stuff like teaching them how to push buttons. It's really all I need them to do. I'm looking for the moon. There it is. Or the mun. Set as target. Alright. Come on around. And swap. 130, 160, whatever. I'm not really worried. I can do sloppy stuff because I already showed you guys the perfect way of doing it, so I can do it the sloppy way. Which is the bad way. I'm a bad man for doing it the sloppy way. But I don't really care. You're all intelligent enough, or so I hope, to be able to know that I'm doing it the wrong way. Look at that. That's not very perfect and aligned at all. In fact, the rocket's completely backwards. So here we go. Turning a massive rocket around for our approach burn. Now, in real life, this is impossible. You cannot do this with current technology in real life. Will not happen. No, no, no. No way in hell. But with Kerbal technology, it's certainly possible. Because it uses compounded force and everything like that, and blah, blah, blah. Physics engine's boring. Apollo, awesome. Physics, boring. If that makes any sort of sense. And there we go. We're burning out to the Mr. Moon. Mr. Moon. If you notice here, I adjust a little bit below 90 just to make it so it was as if we did it correctly. Well, I don't really care. I'm more than capable of adjusting on the fly. I consider myself an expert. Okay. And then, where's that? That's target position. There we go. Look at that. Adjusted on the fly, got what I wanted. Now, this is too much rocket for maneuvering and doing things intelligently. So, I brought one of these for the command center on top. Yay! And I just realized something. I cannot decouple it from that. Oh well. So, we'll figure that out on our landing. There we go. Good boy. Now, while I wait, I'm going to attempt to light a cigarette. Much better. I'm looking at my orbit and everything, and that is one crazy wonky thing. I like start to spiral around the mud and everything. It's actually really weird. Like, I've never seen that happen. Huh. Well, I learn something new every day, I guess. Okay, let this happen. It's gonna be weird. Okay, I need to burn south, and I also need to kill velocity. And you know what? I'm just gonna let myself come into perikey, or periapse. The key point of the periapsis orbit. Yay, I use fancy words. Woo! Alright. Now let's kill velocity as much as we can. From a really weird orbit. Like, I've never seen something like that happen. And I've been playing long enough where I've seen plenty weird things, and that was like a spiral. That was extremely weird. Kind of makes me curious if I could put it in an infinite spiral like that. Well, I guess a polar orbit that faced this way would be considered an infinite spiral. So I guess, yeah, it is possible. Alright. So, now I'm going to... Actually, I'm already in the correct spot. I need to burn north. North is this way. Not that way. Come on, Navball. Okay, coming in, coming in, coming in, and there we go, and thrust. Burning north, and slowing down a bit. Okay, and that's aligned. Got that bad boy aligned now. Now I have to come into this point, right here where the orbits intersect. And do another one. Looks like I need to burn north and slow as well. North and slow, which would be this direction. Should see it start to tilt up and everything for us. There we go. Just aligning it and everything for easier rendezvous to get our pilots back after the landing. Bam. Nice and level. What are we down to here? 18,000? I packed enough fuel where I could go with... well, I could probably get away with a 30. There we go. Bring that to 30. Then we're going to swing around to it and bring that side down to 30. Alright. Bringing that side down to 30. Takes a little bit sometimes. 32, 27, good enough for me. Alright. Now the fun part. Which two do we want to go to the moon? Let's get this guy out here. Let go, turn on those, find the hatch, it's up here. There we go, come down. Alright, grab and board. Alright, and we'll send this guy out too. Space, let go. Okay, come out, thrust up, go in, thrust down, go in, thrust down, grab, and board. There we go. Now, let's make sure we actually have fuel and everything. Okay, those three are full, that's good. That guy's full, that's even better. So we go ahead and decouple that. And we have our two wonderful astronauts here, ready to do their thing. Make sure that's the next engine to stage on, good. And I actually built this so I can kind of bump it out of the way since we don't have RCS. I didn't want to bring extra stuff. No need. I'm gonna face down just to get away from the command thing. Like that. Just a little puff of air. Alright, go like this. Switch to orbit map. And let's bring our orbit down. Let's pick a landing spot. That looks about good to me. Come back to staging. Turn on our landing gear. Just like that. Bam. Now let's zoom in. Alright. And right about here I want to start really thinking about slowing down. So I go ahead and start throttling up. Let's check the fuel. Plenty of fuel for this. I want to go down faster though. Alright. I'm just killing it until it's about 150, then we'll warp in and everything like that. Go 100 just for safety. Okay. Let me zoom in. Trying to gauge our distance and everything like that. I don't want to land on the edge of that crater, so I'm going to throttle hard here. Try to get us to swing back a little bit. There we go. Alright. It looks like we actually have enough thrust on the landing part to do everything we need. But no need. Just letting it come down. I want to get rid of lateral as much as possible. You can do that by the side that the axes are on, you burn towards that horizon until the axe is right there on the center. And that should bring us straight down. I'm looking at altitude and everything like that. I don't want to go much fast. There's my shadow. Now I can really gauge how close we are and everything like that. And I should be able to pinpoint us right onto the ground. Got a little bit of sideways going on here. Alright. And touch. Down. Whoop. Almost tipped it. It's not exactly a flat surface, but we landed. Alright. Now this is the tricky part. I didn't test these to their full extent, so I'm hoping they work the way they're supposed to. Our next stage is to get rid of the rovers. We have 2 chances to get them. And we got 1 rover. We had 2 chances and 1 chance worked. And uh-oh. He's rolling away. So we gotta go catch him. Let go, RCS. Just doing some James Bond movements here. No, board. Crap. Apparently, I am not James Bond. And I want to catch him before he runs into a cliff or something like that, because it will flip over. Brakes. Use my body to stop it. Yay! That'd be bad. That would actually throw it all over the place. What's my pack fuel looking like? Plenty. Unfortunately, now I gotta wait for me to stop falling. That rover is going for one long trip. Surprisingly, they didn't have to deal with this when they did it in real life. Everything just kinda worked for them. It's gonna clip right through that rock, I betcha. Should have turned on brakes before I dropped it, to be honest. Because I think brakes save settings when you decouple things and whatnot. I think he's slowing down now. I hope. Pretty much gonna need him to get back to the lander at this rate because, well, I'm using a lot of pack fuel. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put out my cigarette so I have full control. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Coming in, coming in, coming in. Aha! I am the master. Ooh, ooh. I have no tilt control and the Kerbal made it top heavy. Stuff's blowing up. That's not good. We have no batteries, no resources. This is a dead rover. No. Oh well. We tried. I did a James Bond movement there, and Kerbal made it top heavy because, well, apparently Kerbal's weigh half a ton. Like, literally. Go ahead and test it out however you want to test it. Kerbal's weigh half a ton. Look at this thing. It was a really simple rover. Just a couple RTGs and batteries and a plate with wheels. Nothing crazy. Should have used different wheels though. Those are a little top heavy like that. But let's head back. Maybe we can salvage the other rover. Look at my pack fuel. Oh yeah. I got plenty to get back. Whee! You actually have almost enough pack fuel to get into orbit on the Mun. Which is ridiculous. In real life, astronauts have about enough pack fuel to change their velocity by about 0.5 meters. Coming in hot. This might be bad. Ugh. Just keep landing on your helmet, dude. You'll be alright. We way overshot that. So, we're gonna wait a bit. Maybe if I had time warp. Nope, can't time warp. Wow, I was going fast. And apparently Kerbals are nearly zero friction entities. Which is interesting, if you think about it. Alright, so we made just about 500 meters of progress towards getting back. Get up off the ground. I'm not going to go as fast this time. There we go. Got pretty much the perfect ballistic arc. And we'll see what the status of the other rover is and see if it's even remotely possible to flip back over. Okay, coming in slower now. No need to rush anything. Pack fuel looking great. And yeah, that rover is probably not salvageable. Oh, he landed like that again. Well, maybe I can salvage it. I'm going to show you guys a little trick here. If it's pointing downhill like that, you get him to go under it and try and stand up. Or what you can do is physical time warp times 4 and just start running into it. Sometimes it works, a lot of times it doesn't, and stuff like that will happen sometimes. No, I don't think it's a salvageable craft. Alright, well, let's plant our flag. If I can learn how to stand on the Mun. Why doesn't he have a flag? There we go. Alright. Woo. 500 view. Total. Everyone gets cupcakes. Here we go. My woo was a 1. Leave me alone. Alright, where's the door on this thing? Now with the Apollo lander, what they did was they left the landing stage behind with their, separate from their go back up into space stage. So I'm gonna get back in here. And you guys can probably already see how I did it all. Getting those tanks in there, it's just playing with the WAS keys and the build mode and everything. Now I actually have enough fuel where I could probably get back into orbit with the main engine here. Oops. Let's land again. Shut down engine. Orbit map. Set as target. And just like on Kerbal, we want him to be about there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We are going to throttle up now. We're at full throttle. We're going to set this, he is set as target. It's right there. We're going to destage and go. And that is how they did it in real life. Now I'm going to do most of this from the orbit map. Why? Because it is so much easier. Coming out. Looks like I need to point a little south here. Okay. We are there. It is there, so that means we just need to go up and over it. Like that. And it's going to draw in close for us. I'm going to get this sucker really close. 1.1. Now, if I point north and bring that up, 0.7, 0.6, 0.5, 0.4, 0.3 meters away. That is pretty much perfect for what we want to do. Come in here. Okay. We're going to face... essentially, getting right there. Now we start chasing. At the fastest possible rate. And hopefully we don't run out of fuel before we hit orbit. That's the scary part, is this part of the burn. Do we have enough fuel to get into orbit and continue chasing our target? It looks like we do. Alright, so what do we got here? 3, 2.8. Just bringing it in. Nice and close. Okay. Pretty much do the same thing as we always do for docking, except I don't think I'm actually going to dock because, well, I don't have RTG. I don't have RCS, not RTG. Target velocity to 0. Move towards the target. 0.8, 0.7, 0.3, 0.1. I'm going to time warp to about here. And do the rest from out here. We are very close to our target. So I'm going to burn until we are zeroed out. Okay. Now we just got to do quick EVAs here. Space let go. Turn on pack. And get back into the command craft. Brakes. Overshot. Now this first Kerbal is going to be utilized to find the door. So the second one has a quicker approach. Looks like the door is underneath. That way I know exactly where to go for the second Kerbal. Crap. He grabbed it, then he fell off. Kerbals can be kind of stupid sometimes. Or should I say a lot of times. Come on. There we go. Climb up the ladder. Board. Switch back over to the other guy. Now I would normally deorbit this right here, but just for fun, I want to see if I can actually redock with just engines. On second thought, no. There's no way in hell. Alright. Turn on pack. Now I know exactly where I'm going this time. Woo! Little bit of an overshoot there. Alright, now in real life, they didn't do this EVA stuff. They actually docked again. And all that fun stuff. Okay. Now, looking at our fuel, we should definitely have enough to go back home. I'm going to use the best of my intellectual abilities to get us exactly back home. So I believe here is where we want to burn at 90. Okay. Nope, that's not doing it. That's not doing it. So right there's where we have enough. Just trying to find where we get our good periapsis for arrow braking, and it's not cooperating quite like I want it to. And it just auto-deleted our maneuver node. That's awesome. Good job, game. Doing things that I don't want you to do. Okay, not there. It looks like here. Alright. Right there-ish. I can actually slow down and not use that much fuel. 37. That ought to do it. So it's set up on the blue. Okay, and now we're time warping. This is pretty much exactly how they did the Apollo mission. Except they had one rover that didn't run away from them, and they docked in this last final part here. They redocked together to get back home. Okay. Just hoping we have enough fuel for this. Okay, burning, burning, burning. Just keep on burning. And aero brake successful. Now to get that fuel tank off, I have a plan. I have a plan. How good of a plan? That's up to you guys to figure out. But I have a plan nonetheless. Okay. Apoapsis is shrinking. It's going to exponentially shrink in faster as we go deeper into the atmosphere. And look at that. Woo! Alright, now here is my plan for getting rid of said thing. Deploy the parachutes early. That's how I'm going to do it. Is that going to work? I do not know. But even with the fuel tank still on there, we have capabilities for powered landing. And yes, I just got a message on the face of the books, if you could hear that. Dirty stalkers. messaging me on Facebook. Alright. There we go. That works perfectly. And look at all those parachutes. I definitely brought enough to make sure, without a doubt, that we will land. Alright guys, that was the 500 view special on how they did the Apollo mission and how they did the landing and the two-part lander command center thing. Alright, next time we're going to do a video on Moho. Until then, you guys have been great.